viewings.
Huh?
Just ran back here. It's crazy.
You know what? You just be difficult.
What time is the precinct committee? It's 7:30, right?
Yeah.
Everybody signed it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Put on paper.
All right, cool. I got it.
Read.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Here, we're taking. Yes. Thanks,
The
Tom.
last one. I didn't go in.
Is that for?
No, that's what she said. The executive committee.
Like literally,
That's right. You're signing it. This one is for community.
Did you?
ready to type.
You signed that already. 9 seconds.
What's that? How many pieces of paper they got?
Did I say community?
This is committee.
And the top is
So
executive.
nominating committee.
Right. The other one is.
Oh, what's that?
You have to sign both, Ava.
You need to.
Yeah.
I did sign that.
She did.
You just need to, yeah, make a copy.
Sign.
Anyway.
Hello, how's everyone?
Fine, thank you. How are
The
you?
heavens declare the glory of God is coming.
So Alicia, how's the annual business?
I probably shouldn't have looked at it before I came here.
Are they affordable?
What the day is?
Nah, I had to go to the viewing.
What the day?
Yeah, I just came back from it.
Thank you. Views. Oh, that's a rubber.
Make sure they make it up, right?
Right, it's a rubber.
Oh, yeah, where's the funeral?
Saturday.
Where is the funeral? Is it here?
At Grace Funeral. Off the conduit.
Queens.
Yeah, the border.
Like Ozone Park?
Mhm. Yeah, that border. So,
What time?
I get it.
What's that? Rubber band.
What?
In the rubber band? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Some rules, alternate side.
Oh, I should say, yeah.
Francesca is still at the board meeting at the hospital, but we could proceed.
Alright, so bear with me tonight. As you may know, my grandmother passed. I'm just coming from the viewing, so we'll try to get through this real quick. Alright, so I want to call this meeting to order. Executive Committee Chair meeting, April 19th, 2017. Welcome, everyone. Chairman's report. So as you know, it's been very busy. Of course, you know we had the 40 Crown. That was initially on the agenda to present, and they decided to pull back.
Mr. Chair, may I ask you if you could give me a little bit more ear volume?
Yes,
My
ma'am.
ear is that good and I'm
You
not
want to speak?
hearing. If you give me a little more volume, I
I'll
can
speak a
hear.
little bit. I'll speak up. So we had, initially was 40 Crown was supposed to present yesterday. The last minute they decided to pull back, so I'm not sure what's going to happen going forward. I would assume they're going to refile, reapply, but until we hear something else, you know, we'll take it from there. What's been in the media lately, of course, with the shelter around the corner, 211 Crown Street. That is still moving forward. We've asked for, instead of transitional housing and 32 permanent, we've asked for to make it permanent low-income housing. Of course, it comes down to city council member. I think at this point it comes down to the mayor. I believe it's past the council. It's the mayor's decision. We'll continue to have those conversations. Last that I've heard, looking to open in May. Last I heard. Don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but, that's on the agenda right now, is in May.
There's no lawsuits in, like the shelter up in Bergen, we're not, that again, you've heard it.
Not that I heard of. I did hear that some residents were speaking to the same attorney who's representing the residents there, but I don't know.
I heard they have a pro bono attorney.
Okay,
I mean, they were talking last night by the meeting on the Cornell meeting. We have a neighbor who they were in discussions with to represent them, and he's gonna do a pro. I heard this from
Dion.
Dion, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who it is or.
okay, so
Possible.
the community may take that approach, which is definitely something that they can do. And I believe, to my understanding, it was Board 8, or the residents of Board 8 looked at it under the fair share. So I would assume that's what they'll look at doing again here. But that's the information. Thank you, Jaco, for that.
So we as a board though, that's what, and this is a question, I know it sounds like a statement. We as a board though, our concern is fair share along with Board 8, not so much that it's a family shelter, correct? Because as far as, okay, I just wanted to.
We can't,
Because in the.
we can't,
We can't, no, but
We-
residents in the
Right,
community.
Beverly, that's the legal argument they use, because they need a legal mechanism to challenge. It's not their only concern, that's their legal basis for their case. I understand how they're negotiating with them or something.
Yeah, right now,
That's
last
what
I
they
read,
said,
yeah.
yes. That's what
To
I
make
The
it
read.
judge is still
Housing as
holding,
opposed
but
to
she's
transitional.
saying, work it out.
Work it
Right.
out,
That's
exactly.
what she's saying, work it out.
To make it permanent housing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not the all men shelter. Okay.
Yeah, the woman, she's saying, talk amongst each other, you know.
Don't come
But
to
she
me unless you have
still
to.
has a hold on.
Yeah, the board can't take any action because we are the city, so it'd be the city
Right.
taking action against the city.
Okay,
But it's up to the block associations to do it.
okay.
So I assume that, again, based on that information, they're moving forward with that.
But we support the families though,
So
right?
we'll see what comes back from
Okay.
that position and take it from there.
Misinformation, the community board can make a decision and
then,
can sue the city.
and then the next one is,
Thank
as we
you.
know, the armory is another hot topic, and I believe they're in the middle of having conversations regarding the affordability part of it.
Who's they?
The developers and the council members and
Okay.
EDC, all of them. So when I get some more information on that, I'll have more to report. I believe they will be coming to us soon, maybe in May.
They're supposed to certify in May.
So we'll know where we at with that. Okay, so it's been pretty busy here. So let's move to the community chair reports. And just so you know, after this, there's another meeting with the police commissioner down. So after this, we can take a walk down. But let's get to the committee chair reports. Yakov?
So I just want to report that sanitation, we were in touch with sanitation before the holiday of Passover. They did an incredible job. They really deserve a huge thank you. They were efficient and they went above and beyond. I had personally on my alley this 2 cases of illegal dumping. There's somebody in a van doing construction and illegally dumping in the neighborhood. I managed to get a partial print off the camera in the back and some images of the van. I asked the board office to file a complaint with enforcement, and I plan to pursue it, because what happens is, and it's a big problem in Crown Heights, what happens is somebody goes, they do illegal construction, they dump the construction at somebody else's house, whether the alley or in front, and sanitation won't pick it up because it's construction materials, and the resident starts getting tickets for the illegal construction, and he becomes responsible to remove it. I believe sanitation will confiscate the vehicle that dumped it if the person violates it, if there's enough violations. So I think this is something maybe as a board and we should look to enforce.
Before I move to the next one, if I may. A couple things we're changing here, and one is that the board will start recording all of our meetings, including these executive committee meetings beginning tonight. And we'll be recording the full board next week. This way we can let the community see exactly what's happening, let them hear exactly what's being said,
In live streaming.
and we're live streaming, and let them see exactly what we're doing. So there's no misrepresentation or misunderstanding or miscommunication.
So is that in lieu of Alicia?
No,
Or is
this
it-
is what this is what the board's doing,
Okay.
and, you know, this is open meeting law, and they're entitled to film. So let's move on to, Ada, the youth.
Sure, Steve. Our last meeting was just recapping what we could do different, what went well, what didn't go so well at the youth forum. So it's basically just a recap of all the procedures, including the name, et cetera, on what we may do different. So you'll see all the things we discussed in the minutes. And then the other thing we want to discuss this meeting is what we want to focus on going forward. There's only 2 more meetings left, but what do we want to focus on going forward? I know one of them is going to be after school, the after school programs in the community, and who has them, who doesn't, why they don't have them, what are their needs, and then, you know, whatever else the committee wants to work on for now. There's only 2 more left.
How was the,
Is it youth and education or just youth?
It's a combination of youth and education, right?
Okay,
Just for
cause-
right now.
That's what I'm saying, because when you said
I know, I have a
youth,
tendency to say youth, but it is.
So it's youth and
yeah, it's
education
a
you're
combined,
reporting
it's
out?
a joint meeting that we have.
How did that-
What?
Can I ask a question,
What else are you, you said it, with the 2 meetings that we have remaining,
Yes.
what is it that you see or you may envision that you may want to accomplish between now and the next 2 meetings?
Well, the next 2 meetings, one is definitely reach out to every principal to see what their after-school needs are and what they cover after school, what they have right now. That's the first thing. And the other thing, we also were looking into, possibly looking into like a mentorship sort of program to see how that would work. Is with the mentorship organizations that are around, look into that. But the other thing is also finding out every single youth or youth-focused organization that's in Community Board 9. So that I'm completely aware of everybody's involved with Youth in Community Board 9, what they do in Community Board 9. Because I would like in the beginning of next year, if I'm still chair, is to have a meeting with all those organizations together and see what are they doing, do they know each other, do they know us, what are they trying to accomplish, what we're trying to accomplish, and do that together. So basically those 2 things, or those 3 things is, that, but as a chair, my understanding is that I can put it forward, but the work is done in the committee, so the committee is really, members have to be the ones that are also deciding. So we're gonna kind of throw it out there and then kind of decide what.
Are you looking at reaching out to all of the schools in the board?
Yes.
And youth
Yes.
organizations?
Yes. That's 2 separate things, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, youth organizations is
Yes,
one thing,
mhm.
and every single school, yes. But then, you know, there's 2, you know, it could go like this next year, because it's youth and education are 2
For now,
different things.
correct,
But
correct.
as of right now, yes, reaching out to every single.
And that's something we should talk about in regards to, right now, the committees are connected, but we may want them to stand on their own.
Correct.
And which would not be an issue if we want to do certain things together,
Correct.
you know, but as individual committees,
Correct.
there's a lot of work, you know, you're doing a great job.
No, there is 2 very different things. going on.
Absolutely, but you're doing a great job. You got a question, Warren?
Do you know that Amy, I think her name was Amy Albert, put
Mhm.
together, do you have her information?
Put together a manual she put together for
Yeah.
organizations. I have both. I have Dion's when he used to be chair, and I have
Okay.
Amy's.
And you have Amy's, and
Yeah,
plus
what
there's
I'm-
one more, which I'll send you,
Okay, all right, yeah,
because that should give you a pretty good overview.
good, that's perfect, yes.
I would like to ask a
Is there
question.
anything else? That's not how you ask.
Well, how am I supposed to ask? I raised my hand.
Wait to be acknowledged.
While I'm raising my hand, waiting
Is there anything else that you're looking to accomplish?
No, not right now. Well, I was thinking about doing a college fair sort of one in the fall, but I understand Community Board 8 is doing it. So, I don't wanna be in competition with them. I know they're doing it in the fall. I'll be out to Sharon. I know she wants to partner. I'll kind of leave that to her, because I think she's spearheading that.
Partner would be good,
It'd be great to partner.
you know, easy to partner.
Yeah,
Could you have like a
I mean, offer it
bigger-
to her, but I know she's already has that on her agenda to work on, a college readiness fair in the fall. And I just kind of reached out to her briefly, and she goes, yep, we're definitely doing it, so now I'm gonna reach out to her and see when a partner, if she doesn't, that's fine, some people just wanna, you know, do it on their own, but that's kind of what it was.
It'll be really easy to do two.
One. Is there any questions from committee members? Any questions about that?
I have a question.
No question, no questions, but last night inadvertently I ended up in a conversation regarding after schools. And it was a conversation about funding, so just keeping you in the loop, we reached out to the council member and to see, because right now no one's clear about what are the qualifications to get a school qualified to have an after school to get funding, for the after school to get funding. And the one that we had the meeting in last night, middle school, Evansville Middle School, their after school is at risk of being non-existent. So
Don't you talk to Riel about that?
yeah, that's who got, that's
Riel's
why
on
I
my
got ended
committee.
up in a conversation.
Well, he's on my committee.
Oh, okay, sure. All
You
right.
said you reached out to a council person?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll talk, yeah, 'cause I don't know
Okay.
what you, okay, gotcha.
They have to write a proposal. That's how that's done. They write a proposal, it's approved by the city
Mm.
for funding.
Do they have to wait for RFP to come up, or they can just?
For DYCD you do. DYC's not a direct fund. You produce the RFP, and then you go ahead and you can apply for that, like Riel does with Trailblazers. You know, he does that from that way. But there are other after-school programs that have, you know, other funding. They can also use it. But my understanding about that school is they're losing, the students are decreasing so much that they may lose them. But Riel has a whole different take on that, because he does this all the time, so it'd be interesting to talk to him about that.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Write your question down, please. Housing.
I'm not gonna write my question,
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do-
ask the question now.
You're not gonna-
I am a member of this community, and this is a community board meeting,
You're a stick-
okay?
you're a stickler
And
for-
I have a
you're-
question,
you're a
and I
stickler
would
for
like
rules,
that
correct?
question answered, Musa.
You're a stickler for rules, correct?
Yes, I am a stickler for rules, so you
the
tell me
rules-
where it is
the
that I
rules-
cannot
the rules
sit there
of
and
the
speak.
This executive committee.
This is an
meeting-
executive committee and a committee meeting, okay?
Well,
If
first of all,
I can't
is
ask
there a
questions
reason why
at a
you don't?
committee meeting of the chairs, then where can I ask it at?
In-
I
in
can't
their
ask it at the
committee
general board meeting because you're not allowed to ask. So if I can't ask it here, then where can I ask it as a member of this committee, of this community? You are run here by taxpayers' money. This is not a private organization. This is a public organization. And I'm tired of you sitting there trying to treat me like I'm some second-class ass citizen. I am a citizen of this country, and I pay my taxes. I am a homeowner, and I am a member of this community. And I have a question that I have to ask, and I would like to ask it.
Are you finished? I mean, I don't want to stop you.
I would like to ask it.
Are you finished?
I would like to ask it.
This is an
She is right. It is an executive board meeting and a committee meeting. This is a committee department. She is the chair of the committee, and I would like to ask her a question. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with that is the way this board handles itself when it comes to community
Are you finished?
residents.
Are you finished?
You act like we're not a part of this. It's called community board, not the board. It's called community
Let's move
board.
on.
Community
So-
board.
Right now, the housing committee. is
Community
working on
community
having,
board. Community
having
board.
fun.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You want right here. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Listen.
I'm not
we need
finished.
We need to move on.
So
Well, then
Action
let
meeting,
me
action
ask my
meeting.
question. I have a question that I would like to ask her.
Ask your question.
There's nothing wrong with this
No, we should
question.
just have it
You
removed.
taking my paper?
Yes, I'm taking your
I would
paper.
appreciate my paper back. Thank you very much.
Why don't you
You're
ask your
gonna throw it.
question?
Oh, please,
You're gonna throw it.
please,
You're gonna throw it
please.
at
I
me.
didn't throw. Hey, it's the camera's right there.
You
The
saw-
camera's
you saw
right
her
there.
throw it at me,
Yeah,
right?
right. I threw it at you.
No,
Right.
'cause
Okay,
she-
the camera's
she-
right
No, I
there.
was about to
The
say,
camera's
I'm
right there.
So if-
I'm
if-
audio
if-
taping.
if-
So if you're audio taping, I'm audio taping.
We're all taping.
Exactly.
And-
And I,
and-
all I
and
asked
again-
is for, I was not being rude, I'm not being disrespectful, I asked for a question. The last time I wanted to ask a question, the person left and I was not able to ask the question. This is a committee report. If a resident can't come to this community board and ask the committee chair a question, when can we ask a question of the chairs? Tell me when. Tell me when I can ask a question of these chairs. If I can't do it at the general board meeting, if I can't do it at the committee meeting, when can I do that? When can the public come and ask questions of the people who are supposed to be representing us? You're supposed to be representing us.
Tell me when you finished.
I'm asking you when I can do it.
I'm not gonna debate with you.
When can I do it?
And you can do that freely in the committee meetings. Not at
No,
the
I don't, I can't make all the committee
Apparently-
meetings,
apparently-
because all the
apparently
committee
you don't
meetings,
finish.
for one thing, happen at the same time. For example, the Parks Committee was happening at the same time as the EULA Committee.
you
So if
are-
I have a question
you
of the
are-
Parks
you- at
Committee,
this
I
point-
can't
at
ask it
this
because
point-
I don't have
At
access
this
to it.
point, you are interrupting our meeting.
No, I'm not. You're interrupting the meeting because
interrupting
you're not
our-
allowing me
interrupting
to
our meeting.
exercise my right to sit there and speak.
Did I say you can speak? Did I say you can ask the question?
Right, yes, you did say I can't ask the
I asked you to
question.
write the question down.
Why do I have to write the question down?
We'll
Listen,
do-
let's
we'll
move
do
What
it.
for?
Let's
What
move
for? Why do I have to
What's
ask a question? I have a question. I would like to know what
Are we
happened.
working on
No,
it?
I would like to know what happened at the meeting.
Hey, miss.
Are you okay, Alicia? Do you want me to call like an ambulance or something?
So the
You know,
housing,
this is the
housing
only board that
committee.
Alicia,
Move on. This is
Alicia,
the
I can
only
call an
board that
EMT if
gets
you're out of
Exactly.
control.
Either that, you learn how to engage.
no, this is not engagement. This is not learning how to
You're right.
engage in.
This is not
Right,
engagement.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Every time I come here, I ask to ask a question. No, you can't ask it now. You gotta wait till the end. And then when the end happens, oh no, you can't ask it now because we gotta leave. So when is the community gonna be allowed to ask a question?
The funny
All
part-
I did was want to ask her a question. It's not something big. It's not something huge or all you have to do is let me ask the question. Why can't I ask her a question? I want to find out what happened to the hearing last night. She had an event. I want to find out what happened to the event.
But she
How
didn't
well was it
attend the
attended?
last
I
community
didn't go
board
to it.
Come to the regular meeting.
She discussed it at the last community board.
Well, excuse me. Excuse me.
So we're supposed to stop our meeting.
No, we're not asking you. No, you let everybody else ask.
Committee members.
Oh, so only committee members can
This
ask.
is an executive committee.
This is executive board meeting and a committee chair
General board
meeting.
meetings, you
So
have
this
30
is a
minutes of public speaking.
That's when I speak something. It's not when I
General-
act. You do
Why
not
not?
interact with the because you do not interact with
No,
the
you do
community
not-
during that
you
time.
do not ask questions during you make speeches
That's
so
right.
you can
Exactly.
broadcast your speeches.
That's
And
right.
edit that.
Tell
That's
you what,
right.
don't make speeches, ask your questions. The general
No,
board
what?
meeting-
If I
the
ask
general
my questions,
board
you're
meeting-
going to say,
the
this is
general
not the
board
time to
meeting-
ask the question. I'm asking the question
The general
now.
board
I'm
meeting, you
asking the
have
question
the
now.
community.
When it's not
The
public,
place.
I'm
The
asking the
community
this
has
is,
to
so
be-
when is the public? When is it? When is it?
The meeting right now.
When is it?
I understand.
When is
but we
it?
need to
So-
move.
I just need to
So
know,
the housing
when
committee
is the
is gonna
community
be
going to sit there and be allowed to ask
On
questions
May
of the
4th.
chairs?
Right now, we have a.
Tell me, when is it gonna happen? You can't do it at the community board.
Of course.
When can I ask a question? Then tell me, Musa, if I have a question that I wanna sit there, because if I have a question that I wanna ask the chair, if I have a question that I wanna ask the chair, when can I ask it, Musa?
2 times.
Tell me when.
When you finish, I will. First time, during the regular committee meetings. If you have something you want to look at a particular committee, go to that meeting. That's when you engage, that's when you ask your questions, that's when they could be answered in a regular committee meeting, excuse me. The second time is at the general board meeting during the 30 minutes of public session that I know you're very familiar with, because once again, you get up and make your speeches.
So if
Now,
I ask a
I'm
question,
speaking.
you're gonna
I'm
answer that
speaking.
question
I'm-
during that
I'm
meeting?
speaking now.
Really? Yeah,
So now it's interesting how 99% of this community appreciates the direction the board is moving into. It's interesting that this board is getting things done.
Oh, really?
And no matter what the board does, Miss Alicia Boyd, you would love to misrepresent this. That
don't misrepresent
nothing's
nothing.
being done. When
I don't
will the
represent it.
community get a chance to speak?
Right.
The community speak. The community is heard. The community is listened to, and the community is answered.
Really?
Perfect example.
Really?
Didn't
This
you-
is a perfect example?
Perfect example. Didn't you attend our town hall meeting where the community got a chance to speak? When the last time you saw this board do a town hall?
45 minutes of politicians speaking, and you call that community? There were 10 people that were unable to speak.
Apparently you left.
There were 10 people that were unable to speak.
Apparently you spoke, dropped the mic, and left.
That's right, because I
Instead
had a
of
meeting.
listening.
Because I had a meeting to
So-
go to.
so
That's
going
right.
back,
And
so
I am a
so
community
so-
member.
so-
I am not a board
so
member.
now
And
if you're
then there
right-
was 10 people who were unable to speak at that
So
meeting.
if-
So what are you talking about? There were people on that list that
in
could not
every
speak.
meeting, there's people that's usually left that they can't speak.
Why is that? Because you did 45 minutes of politicians
I don't know,
speaking.
because it's a time cutoff.
Right, 45 minutes of
Well, 9:30, they
politicians.
wanted to
45
come
minutes of
8:30.
45
So,
minutes
Ms.
of
Boyd,
politicians.
Ms. Boyd, I'm not going to debate with you. I have no problem with you asking your questions. I'm going to ask again. Please just write it down. Let me get through this. When we get to number 5 and any other business, If you have some questions, we'll address them at that time. But right now, we're gonna go
Well,
back to
I would like them to be addressed and not put off and told you can
What-
only
what I
ask
like-
3 questions.
what I
That
would-
because that's what you did the last time.
I tell you what I would like.
That's what you did the last time.
If you keep
okay?
taking up my time, we're not gonna have time.
Oh, right.
So
That's exactly how you do
I tell
it.
you what
Isn't that exactly
I
how
tell
you
you
do
exactly
it?
what I would like for you
Right.
to do.
And what if she leaves and then she's gone and then I can't ask the question?
Would you like me to
She has a
finish?
name.
Would you like me to finish?
If she
I
leaves
tell
and
you-
she's
I-
gone and I can't ask the question, just like Jackoff just left and I can't ask him a
Brothers and
question.
sisters of this community, this is what happens at these meetings, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is
You
what
know,
happens.
what we
Yes,
can do
yes.
as a community
Right,
is
exactly.
great things.
Right.
But we have to communicate,
Right,
we have
right,
to work together.
Right, you gotta work
We
together.
can't do
That's
this.
not working together by not allowing me to ask the
So,
question.
as I said, if you please write your question down, and number 5, any other business, we'll address it. Housing committee, please.
So currently, we're working on putting together, it's really housing and social services.
Mhm.
We're working on putting together a housing forum. Right now, we're still having difficulty identifying the space. So we've reached out to MS61, but they're not gonna be available. So I'm currently in the process, and I've called her twice already in regards to St. Francis School for the Deaf to identify a space to enable us to use that space. So, but we've already reached out to the vendors and they already begun to respond. And there's one organization that I'm really excited about and is,
Thank you.
okay, one of the organizations that I think it leads to the suggestion that you made in regards to the psychological effects of homelessness, and that's what they deal in. So they've responded and good evening, they've responded and they're squeezing us into a schedule that they already have, but they've agreed to come.
Psychological effects of homelessness.
Right.
Like that you talked about.
Right. So we're
Now,
working.
you want to give something separate from what's already going on within the community itself, because there's so much going on in reference to housing. They have like.
So the forum that CB9 is having is going to be housing and social services. Now, I learned recently that there was supposed to be housing, social services, and public safety. And we haven't had a chance to talk about that, but I understand that was your suggestion.
Mhm. Well, when it
Can
came
you
to the shelter,
Tell us what.
when it comes to the shelter,
Oh, okay.
to look at
That's a specific one.
the effects that it's causing on our children, and to look at from the housing, social service, and then the public safety aspect
Oh,
of
okay,
it.
got it.
Yeah. But that's what the shelter.
The shelter, okay, got it.
So is that what the housing, what is the housing for about? What's it?
Well, the housing forum is a partnership with housing and social services. We're not, like our last forum, we looked at just things, we looked at tenants' rights, homeowners, some of the challenges they're running into. This year, we're gonna be doing that, in addition to having some presenters present on, the social service aspect is human rights, ADA rights and things like that, how people can, because a lot of the old buildings aren't handicap accessible. So that's what one of the presenters are going to talk about, how to get businesses and buildings to be that way. And one of the programs that housing is going to bring in is the psychological effects of homelessness. So it's not just, when people think about homelessness, they just think about, I don't have a home, but there's a whole dynamic of kids who are in school, they're stigmatized. Grown-ups are around, and remember now, what happens to an adult in a family, it trickles down to the children. So the adult is in the homeless shelter, it's difficult to find a job when you don't have a permanent address. So all these things play out
So,
in it, right. So that next presenter is gonna talk about that.
so just so you know, that a report just came out today from the Institute for Children, Property and
And that's
Homelessness.
who agreed to come.
I'm glad I came.
Me too, I'm so
That
excited.
report just came out, it's called On the Map, The Dynamics of Family Homelessness in New York City.
Right.
It just came out, so that'd be a good thing to kind of look at,
Yes.
like dovetail on what you,
What's the
it came out
website?
today.
That's why I asked them to come.
It's called ICPH, Institute for Children, Poverty and Homelessness.
That's it.
That's the.
That's the-
Yeah,
the-
they're excellent organization.
And we want them to
They
do
a lot
a
of data.
presentation, not just tell. We've asked them.
And may I speak, please?
Mhm.
They, and also too, if you're talking that piece that you're gonna have at your forum
Yes, ma'am.
in regards to homelessness, there is a public safety aspect there. Because my understanding there has been a lot of rapes. Uh-huh, A young girl, just a 14-year-old young lady just got raped in one of the shelters the other day. And I think if we go back and research the data on that and other crimes that are committed in these homeless shelters, that there is a public safety issue. That's all I'm gonna say.
And just real quick, have you reached out to DOE yet, Department of Education?
No,
They had a thing at Borough Hall last year talking specifically about the homelessness and its impact on the education and children, et cetera. I don't know if we're gonna dovetail that in, I don't want to do too much of a play, but they probably give you a lot of insight as to what's actually going on in the schools themselves and what they have to go through in the schools themselves.
thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of complaints.
February, you also talking about May 5th?
Is it May 5th?
Fifth, we'll take it, it's right around the corner.
No, that's why I'm asking the question, because
Yeah,
you have a
nobody's-
site.
Not yet.
You said May 4th, because the 5th is a Friday.
Yeah,
Well, the fourth, the
May
fourth.
4th, but I don't see that happening now.
You know, we should
happening.
talk about
Yes.
We should
There's
talk
no
about that,
location.
because
It's not too quick.
that's too fast. You may wanna push it back over 2
Big
weeks.
ass stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that might,
All right, so can me, you and Francesca have
Yeah, that's why I've been
Absolutely.
calling you to tell
Oh.
you that we have to push it, but you never called
The
me back.
sign in chief of
I just
Dutch.
saw your name on my thing today.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll sit down and talk. Let's get
Thank
to this. Ms. Baker, public safety.
Yes, as I reported in the last meeting, that we have a lot of complaints about, from the community residents that live right next door to street sweepers. And in our March, in the public safety March 8th meeting, we received a petition from the community residents there in that building that talk about the problems that they had with the noise problem coming from the backyard that they have as street sweepers. But in the interim, street sweepers had a fire, and they're no longer operating, but they're.
Where are you located?
Rogers Avenue, 594 Rogers Avenue, that
Parkside or somewhere.
yeah, like that. But in order to, they're renovating the place, getting the wiring set up to open back again very soon.
Oh, okay.
So the committee discussed it, and the best thing that we could do was have the complainants and the owners of street sweepers come in, and let's work out a way on how we could resolve this problem and work out an agreement where street sweepers have to understand that they have to promote a atmosphere of being good neighbors. And so we did, and that meeting happened on March the 22nd. One of the owners of street sweepers came in, along with Ms. Selleck and one other community residents. She was the one that did the original complaint. And what we did was sat down and we discussed everything that's been happening. What was happening is that the noise was basically coming from, because it's a small place, it's not a large place. The noise was basically coming from the backyard where they were screaming movies. And I told him that wasn't in your agreement because before, we didn't have the questionnaires at that time. So that really wasn't in his agreement, and that wasn't what he said he was gonna be doing back there. And they was having music, and then the third problem was that after the place was closed, the employees would go back in the backyard and chill out and hang out. So that caused another problem. So the noise was like this, you know, when you're in between two buildings, the noise is like this. He pretended that he thought that was all over with, and that he thought he had addressed